This is the Cliff Yates Show. Personal growth, motivation, inspiration, and philosophies for a great life.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Cliff Yates Show. As always, you are in the right place. I don't feel like it today. I do not feel like it today. Listen, don't trust your feelings. It's not about feelings. I don't feel motivated today. Listen, we're not going to do things because of the feeling of motivation. It's really not motivation. It's discipline. It's setting a standard for yourself. I almost hate sometimes that I say, hey, my channel is about self-improvement, motivation, inspiration, because some people wait for motivation to show up. It's not going to show up. Motivation is not a feeling. I don't wait for the energy and then go work out. No, I go work out and then I have the energy. It really is a reversal of the way we really think about it. And so don't wait for motivation to show up. Set the standard. Discipline is the key to getting moving towards where you want to go in the direction you want to go. And it also depends on the season that you're in. I've been talking about this, and I went live this morning for over an hour, and I was so thankful for a lot of people checking in on my live broadcast. And one young lady, I don't even know if she was young, a lady, I knew it was a Maria, she showed up in my chat during the live broadcast, and she said, I'm just going through something right now, and I feel like my life is on hold. And I said, hey, that's okay. And, and thank goodness. And, kudos to you and your courageousness for being willing to be vulnerable and just willing to say publicly on this live broadcast when she was commenting, I just don't feel like it right now. And even though I say don't trust your feelings, you have to just keep moving, go forward, even just a little bit. But I also wanted to encourage her that that's okay that you feel like you're on hold, because maybe you should be on hold right now based on where you're going through. Maybe your focus should be on something else, or maybe you should take a pause, right? Because if we plant, throw out seeds in the winter, we starve. We starve. Nothing grows. Nothing germinates. So it's recognizing seasons in our life. It's timing, right? It's the right things to do, but in the right sequence. I talked about on a recent podcast, I believe it was yesterday, about having all the ingredients for a perfect meal. You have the recipe, right? This is all the ingredients. You throw them into a bowl and that's it. No, you have to put it together in the right sequence, in the right way, right? In the right order. I can give you all the numbers to call me on my phone. If you don't put it in your phone in the right sequence, in the right order, you can't call me. It's not going to happen. We're not going to connect. The call won't go through. So I wanted to encourage her. Maybe you're going through a season right now. You're in a winter and you say, I feel like I'm on hold. And maybe that's right. Maybe you shouldn't be out there planting right now. Maybe it's good to be on hold, to reflect and to stay indoors, not get hypothermia. Maybe you don't have everything you need. You're not prepared for that winter properly. You don't have the clothing, metaphorically. So I'm saying you're staying inside right now and you're warm. And so protect yourself, and maybe you're in the right place in your season of being on hold. But that's okay, because now you can know that what follows is spring. Then you can plant like hell, and you're going to have a harvest, and things are going to be great. So if you're going through something, right, keep on going. I recently had a terrible winter. And one of the few things that helped me was knowing that the next season was going to be coming. Spring is coming, and now I'm coming into a spring after a long, hard, brutal winter. I am seeing spring. I was in the tunnel. Sometimes the tunnel is very long and very dark. But if you look way ahead, if you really get a vision for what's way down at the end of the tunnel, you will see a light. And it is not a train coming to run you over. It is the light of day that you're going to get through too. It's in a distance. I'll give you that. But you're going to get there if you keep moving. There are times when you might be crawling. I was crawling at some point, but you know what? I struggled back to my knees, got back on my feet, leaning forward. And then some days I was actually almost in a run towards that light. And eventually, right now, I'm in that spring. I'm coming out of the tunnel. I'm in the light right now, and that's why I want to share these things with you. and just, acknowledge we always can't be at 100%, foot on the floorboard with the gas pedal. Sometimes we have to take evasive action. Sometimes we got to back off on the gas and we got to swerve around obstacles, but keep moving. But sometimes we're not always in a straightaway in our life, right? Sometimes the curves come upon us real quick, and we've got to take massive action to protect the vehicle and make sure that we can get around that corner because we know a straightaway is coming. That's another metaphor I just came up with besides the seasons, which I got from other people like Tony Robbins. Now I've come up with the metaphor of the racetrack. We want to get to that straightaway. Then we can put pedal to the metal and go full on, but not at the curves. And the curves are going to come at us very quickly in life, but we can maneuver around them in preparedness for the straightaway, where we're going to hammer it down, roll hard. So don't wait for the feeling to come. Act with intention. And that comes from discipline, deciding what I'm going to do. That might mean, like this lady who said, I'm on hold right now. She might want to decide, listen, I am going to intently be in this winter period on hold, preparing for my spring. What can I do right now in preparation for when I want to get back out there in the streets, field testing all my newfound skills and disciplines? When do I want to do that? And make a decision. Decide on this date. Next Sunday is when I am going to start turning this ship around. And I'm going to do it by writing down what I intend to do, how I intend to do it, and the why I intend to do it. And then I'm going to follow through with what I said I am going to do. And that's going to teach myself that I can rely on myself, that I keep my appointments with myself. And when you start to stack win over win over win, you become more and more certain of your identity, who you are, and the number one person you can count on every single damn time is yourself. And when you can do that, it's going to be felt by other people. You don't have to tell them. You don't have to write it down for them. You don't have to send them a text. They are going to see it. When you start changing the way you think and the things you're doing, people are going to see and say, there's something different about you. I mean, there's a different attitude, or what's going on with you? You seem, you seem really more positive or energetic, or I'm getting a positive vibe from you. I'm telling you, you're going to hear these kind of statements. When you start making the changes you need to start making internally, you're going to get solid on what you need to do and start doing them. People are going to feel that when you walk in the room or when they talk to you even on the phone. They are going to hear it in your voice. That's why salespeople, when they train salespeople, they often tell them while they're talking to people to smile, which seems kind of stupid. The people on the other end of the phone can't see my smile. It actually comes through in the tone of your voice. So smiling while you're talking. So if you get yourself right in the right state more often, more times, and you start habituating how you're in control of your state, mentally and emotionally, it's going to come through in your conversations. It's going to come through in your phone conversations. It's going to show up in your personal interactions with other people. And I am guaranteeing you, and if it's already happened, leave a comment and affirming this has already happened in your life. You made the changes, right? In your thinking, it's in your head. You started doing some different things, and without telling anybody what you've been doing, reading or studying or implementing, they've noticed a change in you. They sensed it. You're on a different vibration. Yeah, we give off vibrations, and we are also receivers of vibrations. People give off vibrations, and we also receive those vibrations. That's why people are going to sense from you a difference. There's something different about you. They can feel a difference in the vibration that you put off. It goes along with the law of attraction, which really goes back and back to, as a person thinketh in their heart, so they are. From James Allen, right? As a man thinketh, as we think in our hearts. Why does it say in our hearts? Because it's not just thoughts, it's thoughts married with strong emotions. That's why it's as a man thinketh in his heart. Not just thoughts here, married with strong emotions right from the heart. Together, they form a bond and a vibration like a tuning fork that other people, they take it in. They feel it. We are receivers of vibrations, and so we're both transmitters and receivers. You've been on both ends. You've been transmitting whether you know it or not. Everybody you see out in public, right, is always communicating. They might not say words, but they're communicating. You know they are with their body. You can tell when you look at them. You can tell this person is like don't even talk to me, right? They've said it without words. We're always communicating to other people, right? So you can do this. Hey, how are you? How are you? Good to see you, right? Or how you doing? Good to see you, right? See how closed off? As comedians, we always would see that right in the front row. Sometimes there's always one guy, usually a big guy off to the side like this. Big, tough, and mean. And really, he just kind of wants to be part of the show. He really wants the attention. He wants you to address him, and he's going to feel very significant about that. And then if you make him laugh, believe me, he's probably going to be your biggest fan for the rest of your life. It's just funny how that works. But people are always communicating. You're always communicating, and I'm always communicating. And I'm communicating tonight with you on purpose. You know why? Because tonight I didn't feel like it. Remember as a kid, right? Your dad and mom told you to mow the lawn. I don't feel like it. You don't feel like it? Well, guess what? You're going to do it anyways because it's the right thing to do and because I told you to do so. Yes, believe it or not, there was a time when our parents said, I don't care if you feel like it or not. I told you to do it. That's why. And we did it. I don't know if that happens today, but it sure happened a long time ago when I was growing up, and it was pretty much the same with everybody in my generation. Our feelings didn't play a part in it at all. There was no entitlement, and we may have not have felt like it, but we didn't want to feel the strap on our backside, and so we went along with the program. Okay, you're the parents. We're the kids. We're going to do what you tell us to do. And so tonight, I didn't feel like doing the podcast tonight. I did an hour earlier of a live broadcast. I didn't feel like it tonight. But you know what? Listen, I'm not going to skip you, right? It's in serving other people that we get the biggest form of fulfillment and joy out of life. And it took me a while to figure that out. Even though, I was a little bit selfish, I didn't realize that being selfish and learning new skills and how to better communicate and connect with other people was going to lead to selflessness and serving other people in the best way that you know how. Having a positive impact on other people, no greater joy. And a lot of times I have such racing thoughts in my head, they go to my heart and out my mouth so fast that my tongue trips over. I even said that earlier on the live broadcast. I said, listen, this is raw and real. Because going forward, that's going to be the wave of the future, going raw and real. Why? Because of what's happened. AI is playing a big part of this. It used to be video was the answer. Hey, I wonder if that really happened. Guess what? Somebody was there and they have video. Oh, there's a Ring camera. When this happened, we have it on video. And so that was the truth. Video cleared it up. There it is, right there. Black and white and in color, there's the video. And now AI has flipped the script. It's flipped. We're getting to the point now where there's the video. I still don't know if it's real or not. I don't know if that's you see such things and I'm thinking, how can they do that? And so now can we trust video? No. And we're getting to the point where we're going to look at video and say, that doesn't mean anything to me. That is no proof. It used to be, there's the proof, we have video. And now we're getting to the point, video, that's no proof at all. And that's why, as far as creators and creation, and maybe even an advertisement, or all the way around, raw and real is going to win the day. And so I think that's going to be my my mantra going forward. Raw and real, Cliff Yates. Raw and real. I may be live so that you know I'm being authentic. It's really me. It's not edited. There is no teleprompter. I barely have a note or two right here. Tonight I have no notes. I'm just speaking from my head and my heart. But I'm raw and real, everybody. I'm thinking about putting that mantra in the words and use the word real, R-E-E-L, like reel of film, right? Raw and real. That'd be kind of cool. But I think raw and real is the way going forward because a lot of people are going to be really searching and craving, just as I do now, and I'm sure you do too. I want to see some real shit that I know is real. And I do like to watch live TV, even if it's a podcast. I like that it's live because then I know, wow, we never know what's going to happen. And also there's just something authentic about it because I know people are not over editing, polishing it to such perfection. And that's not going to be the way going forward. It's going to be better that mistakes are made because then people are going to really know, oh, this is live, because otherwise they would have edited that out. And as a creator, it's much easier. Turn the damn camera on, be real and raw, and let it be said the way you should say it for yourself, being who you really are. And people like that. I mean, people don't want to be bored, right? They want, but the days of the reason, creators used to say, okay, to be successful, I'm going to share information. Let's get information out there. And now we've transitioned to forget information because information is at our fingertips 24/7. We can put any question we want into ChatGPT and we're going to get the answer instantaneously. You don't need me. I don't need you to share information with me. The information is readily available to everybody 24/7. And then we went into the entertainment phase, right, of creation and platforms. Let's keep their eyes as long as we can on the platform by being funny, goofy, silly, entertaining. And I think going forward, it's going to be perspective. I watch this person and I watch that person and I watch that because of their perspective, because of the way, they've experienced these things and what they're filtering things through their past experience as a police officer, as a teacher, as a congressperson, as a plumber. I know their point of view comes from a, walking the talk type thing. In other words, I want to hear what this plumber has to say about replacing my pipes because they have the expertise. They've studied plumbing. They've been an active plumber. Their perspective is going to be well received from me rather than just going to, text or the dictionary or, how to change my pipe. I'm going to get the perspective of a person that I really connect with, that I like, that I watch on a regular basis. I go to this person for this kind of thing. Not because I can't get that kind of information or that kind of thing anywhere else. It's because I resonate with that person and I feel a little bit of a connection with them. Even though you're watching a video with someone, there is a degree of connection that you feel with them. And I feel that when I'm just talking to the camera. I actually almost feel like I'm talking to you. I've been trying to do a better job, and I've been doing pretty good lately on my comments. So when you leave a comment, my platform and channel is still tiny enough that I can get to my comments and I answer them all, and not in an AI-generated reply. I actually type in, what I want to say and hit reply. And so it's an actual reply. And most of the time, even, once in a while, when they're negative comments, when it's some moron from their mom's basement, I still sometimes, maybe a little bit to fire them up, to really piss them off, I just give them a positive comment back. Hey, you know what? Thanks for taking the time to watch the content and to take the time to actually leave a comment. Much appreciated. And well, part of it, I really am, because, unfortunately or fortunately, your channel is boosted, or your videos on an individual basis, each video kind of stands on its own now. The algorithm or computer dynamics have changed to where it's not subscribers or followers. It's based on interest, because they're trying to best show content to the people who really want a certain kind of content. And so it's really important that, people that interact with the video, that's going to boost that video. In other words, what the computer is, and not as a cognitive person, but as an algorithm that's been set up to best serve people so they see the videos that resonate with them, is one of the matrices when you interact with the channel. you leave a comment, you like, and you subscribe, that's telling YouTube, okay, this video has some value because people are staying on it a certain amount of time and they're commenting on it, they're liking it, they're subscribing to the channel. It must have value in this arena of personal growth, motivation, inspiration. So I'm going to show that. YouTube says to itself in a computer fashion, I am going to show this video to more people who like this kind of thing, because this obviously has some value to it based on a matrix that they set up or program into the system. So even when a hater, dislikes or leaves a nasty comment on your video, still that the amount of time they spent viewing it, the fact that they left a comment at all, plays into YouTube showing that to other people. So even your haters can be helping you out. So listen, go out there with the goal of getting more haters. And so one way you can do that, especially if you're in the kind of space that I'm in, this personal growth, the motivation, inspiration way, just remember, there's a group of people out there, they are really going to attack your optimism and your positivity. They're going to attack it because a lot of people are married to and committed to mediocrity. And your positiveness, your optimism is going to be something that they want to mock and attack and tear down. And there's not very much friction to be able to do that. You can just sit in the basement of mommy or daddy and snipe away. But that's okay. It can actually help your channel. Expect that that's going to happen. Expectancy, right? When you can anticipate, that's power. Anticipation is power. I anticipate those negative comments as I expand my reach, as my channel grows, as I expand the amount of people that see my stuff. I expect more sniping, some more people to make hateful comments. But that's not who I'm serving or you're serving, right? We're not serving the people that don't want to hear the message, who don't have a desire to become more, be better, live their best life. Then, they're not for us. And we have to know that not everybody's going to resonate with us. And hey, listen, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, that is a command and an order if you want. It really helps the channel. And it costs you absolutely nothing. And if you hit that bell when you subscribe, you'll be notified when the next video comes out. There is a yin and yang side of us inside our head, that voice. I guess maybe there's even two voices, I would say. Right? There is that weak side. I used to have a poster that says, there's a side of me that is strong, courageous, and brave, and soars to great heights like an eagle. There's another side of me that wallows in deception, lying, and laziness. And who wins this battle, this great battle within me? It's the one I feed, right? And I should get that again and hang it on my wall. I had that hanging on my wall when I was in my early 20s. And isn't that so important, right? Do we have that battle? Because there is a voice that'll be in your head that says, you know what, skip today. No one's going to know. No one cares. It doesn't matter. Yeah, no one's checking on you. You know what? You deserve a break today. You know what? You grow on your rest days. Don't bother. So we have to destroy. We can't give in to that weak side. We gotta revert back to. We gotta feed the strong side. We gotta feed that soaring eagle, right? Because we know that the return on that investment is tenfold, and that's the time when we need to really making the investment in ourselves. In the days when that other voice could convince us. The weak side, hey, listen, it doesn't matter. No one cares anyways. No one's showing up. Why do you have to go in today? You've gone 2 days in a row. Take today off. You don't have to don't take a shower today. Don't clean. Don't brush your teeth. You never negotiate on some of those things. You've habituated them so strongly. You could have been up for 29 hours, but before you go to bed, you always floss and brush your teeth. That's like non-negotiable. You made it non-negotiable. It's one of your internal rules that you will never break. Now, you can apply that to so many things. Man, you're working out again today. I every day. I get up and I get after it. I don't even think about it. Do you use an alarm? I don't need an alarm because it's a day. I do it every day. It's non-negotiable. I have certain things that are non-negotiable with me. They are not going to change, and I don't want to change them. And I'm disciplined in doing them. And I've created such a path, a neural pathway in my brain that I always do this. To vary that, it's impossible. It just couldn't happen. And so you can get to that point just like you always floss and brush your teeth every night before you go to bed. You can habituate other things in the same exact way. And that way, guess what? You're not going to be spending any processing time with your brain. You're not going to have to think about it. Write it down, put it in a goal book, put it on a goal card. No, because it's going to be ingrained in your habitual habits that you have ingrained in your neural pathway of your brain. You can do that with so many different things. And what does that do? It just frees up space to start It frees up space to start focusing on other things that you may want to habituate, right? Just like a positive mental attitude, always taking care of your state, emotional and mental. I'm going to keep hammering you on. That's really the most important thing going forward this year in 2026 is mastering your mindset, being the master of your mental and emotional states. When you feel, because it's going to cause a difference in your feelings. I know I said don't trust your feelings, but when you are unstoppable in your mental and emotional state, then whatever strategy you put into place, you're going to go until it happens. How many times does a baby try to walk before it quits? No, it never quits. It goes and goes and goes until. How many times does a baby just say, quit, I'm done? No. So we've already been programmed to keep going until. It's in us to keep going until we're successful. And so we learn to put on limitations, but we're born without them. We feel we can do anything, and we go until it happens. Take that example of when you were a baby and how you learned how to walk. Nothing could stop you. I don't care how many times you fell down, you got right back up. You grabbed that couch and you pulled yourself up and you took another wobbly step. Walk, walk, walk. You got it done. And so it's non-negotiable. So make these things that you want to implement in your life non-negotiable. Maybe they've already been there and you let them go by the wayside. Maybe they've fallen off a little bit. You know what? Reignite them. Recommit to them. You always have another day. So there's no bad day, really. We're all going to have, a Navy SEAL just was on a podcast and he says, well, we all have like 5-6 bad days in our life. But other than that, I'm having a bad day. Compared to what? You woke up in the morning, that rule should be, whoa, hey, I have another opportunity, right? I'm alive. We got, hopefully most of us have our extremities. We can move. And so it's not a bad day. If that's your rule, man, if I wake up in the morning, it's a win. How is that going to affect your day when that's the bar? You've set it so low, every day's a winner. Hey, you can do it because you create that in your mind. We are the creators. That's why if you read the Bible, and I really encourage you to do so, because the Bible tells us about the renewing of our mind and that we were created in God's image, who was the creator of everything, which means we can create. God didn't snap his fingers to create the world and the water and the land. No, he spoke it into existence. And that was supposed to be something that we would pick up on. We can speak things into existence. Speak to your subconscious mind, not just with empty words, but married to strong emotions. It's going to tell the subconscious mind, that's important. We got to start working on this. He or she means it. And that is a dominating thought in their heads. And they are thinking these things from their heart. You got this, everybody. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, listen, only great stuff because you have greatness within you. And that is a true thing. We're into January of 2026. A lot of you, me, a lot of us are rebuilding things that may have broken in the past. And this year we're rebuilding, we're recommitting. We are, and let's go forward with the courage of lion-hearted a God-fearing person, because God can rebuild anything. We got to go with a decisive mindset that says, I'm not quitting, I'm not folding, I'm not breaking, I'm not going back to who I was. I'm going forward as a new person with new values, new principles. I'm going to be lion-hearted, brave and courageous, bold but not a bully, kind but not timid. Go forward strongly in these decisive ways of thinking, because it's all in how we think. And listen, going forward, let's decide, you and I together, we're going to be stronger, wiser, humbler, more focused, more grateful, more dangerous, because we are so focused and committed on what we want that we can't be distracted or pushed off the path of righteousness. We're going to go forward in the right way for the right reason. And when you are so consistent and so certain in that kind of mindset, nothing can stop you. And you have to anticipate. Life is going to happen. Bad things are going to happen. If they don't happen to you directly, and they will, they're going to happen to people around you. But that's okay. Remember, what you've gone through in the past is evidence of how you can get through anything. You can make it. Right? When the storm of tragedy hits us, right? Those three things that I talked about in the last podcast are going to happen. We're going to find out exactly how strong we are. It's going to tell us, it's going to reveal how strong we are. And we just have to keep going, keep pushing through it. And as we do, we're going to get stronger and stronger. 2, we're going to find out who our friends really are. Right? When hell breaks loose, real friends hang around. So it's going to be a litmus test for who our friends really are. And you know what we're going to find out? We really don't. Maybe we got too many anyways. We only need so many true, deep, connected friends. Number 3, it gives us immunity towards future stress and tragedy. So look back. I've had to do the same thing, and all of a sudden I realized, what the hell? I'm looking back and I'm thinking, wait a minute. Look what I've already been through. Look what I've already done. Look at the troubles that I had, and I made it through to the other side. And so that's giving me immunity to the current situation, tragedy, darkness, trials, tribulations. What's it say in the Bible? James 1. Count it all joy. I've been reading the Bible too much. I can actually quote scripture now. Count it all joy, everybody. Count it all joy. Beyond counting it all joy, do what Paul said in Philippians, right? What did he say? Rejoice in the Lord always. Rejoice. Philippians 4 through 10, something exactly like that. Count it all joy. And he said, I'll repeat it. Rejoice in the Lord always. Hey, and let your gentleness be evident to all. The Lord is near. God is close by. Be anxious about nothing. Do not worry. Don't be anxious about anything. Another part of the Bible says, when has ever worried or being anxious added another minute to your life? When? It doesn't do anything good for you. Do not be anxious about anything, but by prayer and petition and with thanksgiving, present all your requests to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding. In other words, we can't understand it. God is spirit, omnipresent, out of time, doesn't make sense to us. We can't comprehend it. The peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard, protect, be the protector of our hearts and our minds through Christ Jesus. God time traveled to earth as Jesus Christ, God in human form, so that he could have the connection with us, because he knew we could get then to him through Jesus Christ, because then we could understand another human, a human being. And so he, Jesus Christ, is the truth, the light, and the way, and the only way. And how did I get into the Bible? I don't know, but the Bible is probably the best self-help book, the best leadership book there is. So do what Paul says. And Paul says to refocus. He goes on in Philippians. He says, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is admirable. If anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about these things. He's telling you what to put your mind on. Whatever's good, right, true, pure, lovely, noble, admirable. He lays it all out there. If anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about those things. And then he said, finally, brothers and sisters, whatever you have learned, heard, seen in me, do it. Do those things, and the peace of God will be with you. In other words, model me. Model what I've been doing. Right? We always should be looking, when we want something, look for the who, not the how. Who has already done this so that I can do those things? Paul has said, whatever you heard, learned, seen in me, do those things. It's laid out. Best self-help book. Been around thousands of years. Written down for us. It's available. Free. Best-selling book of all time, the Bible. Even though it's free, it's the best-selling. People pay for it. You know I love you. That's a good way to finish up the episode, everybody. Listen, if you like this episode, even if you don't, like it, share it with somebody who needs to hear it. Who cares? I don't have the feeling. I don't feel like it. So that ain't why we're doing it. We're not doing it for the feeling. If we waited for the feeling, we're not going to do it. Right? If I wait for the energy to go work out, I'm not going to go work out. No, I work out, then I get the energy. I don't have the energy and go work out. It's the opposite way. Hey, in today's world, everything's opposite, so that should be easy for us to understand. All right, everybody, you know I love you. I'll see you in the next episode.